To start off with, I'm going to tighten this guy down to make sure that I don't have to make any brackets here. If everything is good, I'm going to start making brackets somewhere along here for our fog lights. I don't know if I'm gonna mount them like this, maybe here. I think that's where I'd like to have them. Here, I think we're gonna run into the same problem that we run into in the back, where I might hit it with something when I'm trying to hook up to the hitch. After I've got that done, after I've got everything set up, it's time to start disassembling the front end. Why are we gonna disassemble the front end, you ask? Because we're going to try to put this guy in. And what that's going to require is a big cleanup of the shop. As you can see, we've started to accumulate a lot of things. I'm gonna need a spot to be able to move all the front end of the car without having to bring it back downstairs again. And we're also gonna have to be able to move the engine hoist around with the engine on it without having to bump into too many things. Okay, so we're bolted right on, and as we can see, kind of what I suspected, we've definitely got some movement in this bumper, which means making some sort of bracket is in order. I was going nuts trying to make a bracket. Now this is spring steel, so it's really hard to work with. I cut stuff apart and move things around. My biggest kind of challenge was the fact that this curved, so it didn't really line up with the bumper very well at all. Then I started rooting through the pile of parts, and I wasn't able to make sense of it before, but I can now, and I didn't need to do any of that stuff. Hard to see without the light, but there's a bracket designed to go right in here, and hold on. It just bolts up through the bottom valance there, so I didn't need to build anything. Took these two brackets that came in the kit and I made a cardboard template in the circumference of the bottom of the bumper. So marked out my spots, and then we're just gonna tack those brackets on there. And there you go, both lights on. They're pretty even, I measured them all up. So next up, it's going to be cleanup. All done. So now comes the fun part. I have to undo everything that I just did in the last little while. But it's gonna make it way easier to pick the engine up and bring it in, since we've got the hoist here to contend with. Looks weird, looks like we've accomplished nothing in the last little bit, but we're prepped and ready to go. Really looking forward to putting this in, seeing how it looks. We will be back in a snap. So what's going on now?
Taking off the headers. I'm gonna flip the engine over, and now that I've actually got the proper bolts for the oil pan windage tray.
Whee! So what happened? You had, so we're just replacing all the bolts for the oil pan?
Yeah.
And why? Just because?
I don't think I have all of them. I just got more. lock nuts for this.
Are they metal, guys? I guess so, right? You don't want nylon ones in there.
No. I think I ran a washer on them before too, but you know what? That's just living the high life we can't afford. So a really easy way to tell which is the front of this too. So you see the way these baffles and stuff go? Mm-hmm. Well, up here it says front. Now to do the oil pump pickup tube O-ring. Yeah, see, this is why you change it. That's how it came off. I've actually got to clean off the residue here. There's more left behind than I thought.
Just from the heat it stuck on.
It really melted it. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Just cleaned up the junk to make the new one seat well. So this is an entire $5 piece that I can never understand why someone wouldn't replace.
Oh, you've read where the people have it?
Yeah, or when they just don't even bother pulling the tube out to check. It's $5. And this is how long it takes. Right? Like, seriously. So, uncommon knowledge among the maybe car world, but for those of you living in the bike world with us, bike bolts work for almost everything.
Haven't you used bike bolts on all sorts of different projects?
Almost everything we've built has some manner of bike bolt in it. This is just a 5mm hex head. It had Loctite on it already.
So you gotta knock a pin out somewhere?
In the oil pan.
Oh, in the
It's just an alignment pin that came in the original gasket, and it got just a little flanged over, like mushroomed out, so it doesn't come off. Tighten these up so tight that we give our main caps another little torquing. All right. We will call that Los Flanges. This engine stand is bent.
Oh!
So it doesn't.
Has it always been bent?
Yeah. Alright. Look at that.
Ooh! Very nice.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
And there. Need to flip the motor mounts around, so 2 over. Yeah. So otherwise the engine's gonna sit way too far forward, but no big deal, right?
That's the nice thing about these motor mounts. There's like a million different.
Yep. And sorry. Okay, there you go.
I will give you the D if you give me the P. There we go.
So you have it
On the back,
yeah, but facing forward.
but facing forward. I am actually over my mount here. Are you over
No,
yours?
yes, I'm over it, yeah.
Okay. So, if I'm locked into place.
I'm not.
I don't think we're gonna make
No,
it.
I don't think we're gonna make it either. It's just way too far forward anyway, Tim.
Okay, good, perfect. We'll move those forward. The last movement.
So, needed an Allen key for this block off plug. Can't find one anywhere in town. It's an oversized thing. It's not very common. So we figure, let's make our own tool out of a bolt. So that way we'll be able to get everything in properly and move the motor mounts to the right spot. So there we go, no problem at all. So just bring her down, bring her down. Oh, whoa, whoa, hold on 1 second.
Gotta go sort of this way.
Yeah, and we've got to get those wires there.
We gotta come down and then back.
Yeah. Okay, a little bit, tiny bit more, just a tiny bit, and we can start going back. We can always. Okay, you're getting there, good.
Oh, we're good.
We're really close, yeah. Same.
Okay.
Go. There we go.
Yeah.
One.
Just trying to see which way I need to go. I need to go down. Okay, now give it a hit.
Got it. There. Have to just tighten those bolts up. Got the lock nuts just on the back, but that's a big step. See how nice it's going to be to work in here?
Oh yeah.
Where we don't have to worry about fenders or anything like that being in the way.
Transmission.
Oh yeah, we got the transmission hooked up, but we're all set.
Oh, I need a 19 mil wrench. Right.
Now, next couple steps: put the headers on, put the intake on, and then we're gonna have to notch this guy here in some way. Might have to plasma cutter. Look how close that is now. It just.
Yeah, it's like a millimeter, but I mean, the engine shouldn't move, so, do you know what I mean? Well, if anything, it'll self-clearance.
If it does, then we're laughing.
My only other question was the massive pulley that these things come with. They're fucking huge. Oh, no, we should be fine. Yeah, we'll get away with that for sure. Perfect.
Great. So, another big step accomplished. Keep tuning in, folks, to see what comes next. It's always exciting. Thanks for watching.